Good morning, everybody. The last bit of morning here on a Tuesday in September. I'm Leslie Davenport from the Playa Center, Pittsburgh. If you have not met me before, this video is going to be for our clients, but it's also going to be for our larger studio community around Pittsburgh and the months, the states around us. So what we are going to be showing today and actually starting to help you find is ever since the winter, we have been taking our studio work into people's homes, and we've been taking our studio work into other locations. Something I always love because I love being out and connecting to nature and people in general. So this is my little practice space here at home. And so really the topic today is products, tools. So we have compiled a really nice list within our studio of different tools that help make your workout spaces at home a little more lively, a little more effective. And I think if anybody, a real nice analogy is when you're making anything or you are in the process of refining something, the right tool really makes a huge impact. When we have a crude set of tools, it's amazing what you can do with that, but then that little change of just kind of updating your tools or the elements you're working with sometimes is astounding. So we are not here to sell anything to you, but we really thought as a staff it would be a great idea to showcase some of our favorites. All right, so the teachers and I will be going through this as the weather starts to turn, and we have those thoughts and ideas of, wow, I really need to make sure that I'm in good exercise routines, good self-care routines as we go into cooler months. All right, so my favorite tool of the entire winter and spring has been this foot waker. This is a Yamuna product. I'll show you Yamuna body rolling products, and there are many things I love about this. So this tool is fantastic for clients who want to get more out of their exercise programs because of the function of the foot to the leg and the leg to the engine, the lower body system. This is a tool I use to teach alignment for people about where to work, where to push. And then if you've had any foot issues, if you've had plantar fasciitis before, this is maintenance for that, right? We know that fasciitis is kind of like concentrated hardening, right, of the soft tissue sections of the foot in different places. And so feet get tight. I hope it's a well-known fact to everyone that your body needs to move in different ways. We can't expect our body to move in only one way or just a couple different ways and have our full faculties, right? So the foot wakers are excellent for someone who is athletic and needs to do release type of exercises. My runners, my hockey people, my dancers, anyone who's on their feet regularly, standing, working. The foot waker is also really great for someone who is not sure about how to center the weight of their body into the line of their leg and foot. So people who've had sprained ankles before, right? I love this tool for teaching people how to connect through a chain, connecting through a path. And those are some of the extremely so needed takeaways from this type of work anyway. We're teaching a chain of connection in your body. All right? So here's a basic kind of way of how we can use it. So just want you to kind of see my feet. I'll lift them up. Okay? And so maybe I can show that way pretty easy. That's kind of fun and silly. Is that the outside line of my foot is my 4th and 5th toe. The center line of my foot is my 2 and 3 toe through the arch to the center heel and back. And then the inside line of my foot is my big toe knuckle through the middle of my arch to my heel, right? Yay, I can do it. Silly. So I'm going to basically use the foot waker to wake up the different lines of my feet, okay? So I'll angle this down. You can see a little more closely there. Again, we won't stay with it too long. The whole sequence, the entire sequence I like to practice is about 15 minutes in length. And again, just tips at home. I think I actually will do this sequence when my kids are eating breakfast. You know, if you are in the kitchen and you are working on something, I'll do a quick mini release, like a few minutes typing some emails or responding to something. I will stand and I'll just do a little bit of some grounding on them. And in the longer sequence, it's about 15. Okay, so I'm just going to show you the basic. But this is a tool that I actually pack the tool and take with me on the weekends out of the studio to make sure that I have access to it for each day. I kind of think it's an essential. So if you place yourself so that you are your hip width apart, I'm a little bit more wide than my hip width apart just to kind of show really, you know, really clearly. I'm just going to balance my center through my hips, through my legs, into my feet. So I have my heels on top of the waker, okay? So let's try just kind of like a basic movement. So shift the weight of your center through your hip all the way into the outside, right? The outside line of where your foot's touching the waker. Release that knee, all right? Send your center down, release the knee forward, no crunching joints, and then press through your core into that outer line of your heel, right? Your heel foot. Take the other side. So I'm going to shift my weight a little bit. I'm going to release my knee. I'm going to push against the waker and send my center and my hip right into my foot. And I like to do this maybe 4 times to each side. If I have a little tightness, meaning a lack of responsivity in the structure of my foot and ankle, then I'll spend a little bit more time on it, because let's face it, that affects everything. That affects you walking. It's your walking gait. That affects, you know, so much. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to put ourselves back a little more. So the waker is now, again, it's very dense. That's something neat about the tool. It's so dense and it's a real beautiful half sphere shape. So the shape is going to it's actually kind of molding up underneath the forward part of my heel. So that would be the back portion of my foot connecting to the ankle. Okay, so I'm going to do the same motion there. All right, so you saw me put the weight on the outside line of my foot, but I'm going to go ahead and show you now. I'm going to put the weight on the middle line, right? Middle line of my hip to my knee to my ankle against the waker. And then I'm going to push into my core to lengthen myself on that line. I'm going to press the waker. The waker is pushing against me and I'm meeting its pressure. So I'm just connecting that chain. So then I go center over here, release my knee. All right. This is the one I really need because I'm a sprained ankle lady. And so my ankle gets confused about where the middle is, right? My ankle that's had trauma actually thinks that it's easier to work in the outside of the alignment, and it just kind of avoids, right? It avoids sometimes the effort. So something that's had trauma, again, you got to give it a little more coaching, a little more tender loving care, is that middle line of my ankle, I'm going to ground myself into it. And what I'm feeling, which the camera is not going to show you, is I'm feeling under my foot a direct chain into the core of my body. So if I was to stand on that leg, right, it's so nice. This is going to help my balance. I find I have to get the right spot, Whoa. So that is a deep hip release for me. It feels like an internal hip muscle. I know that's a little bit, you know, abstract to think about that. So I'm going over and coming up. All right, so now move back on the waker, put the curvy part of the dome right in the center of the body of your foot. Okay, so again, my kids use this at home, is that they'll just kind of roll forward and back. You can do things like this, right? You can also shift your weight to the outside of the foot. You can see the inside of that leg, foot, and ankle. And then I can kind of do the other side. So now I feel like I'm skiing, right? I'm kind of skiing with good alignment. What I'm getting out of it is much more than my feet and ankles. Again, I need that every day. I need to be able to stand and to walk and move about in a centered way. So again, loving this tool so much. So since we're on the arch, we're gonna go ahead through that nice spot. You can see me roll outside foot, middle foot, and then can I put the inside of my foot on the waker? Oh my gosh, just enough. So as I lengthen that leg and I've got the inside of this leg on that waker, it is an incredible call to action from my core to light up that chain and find a way to stand very, very well in that leg. So I have over to the outside. I'm gonna go through the middle, okay? I need a lot more warm up on this right leg for me today, but I'm gonna try. Can I put any of the inside of my foot on the waker without caving my knee, right? So I'm gonna put my inside of my foot, big toe side of my foot structure on the waker. I'm gonna lengthen my leg and ooh, that is some nice work, right? The front of my hip feels like it's opening more, and I'm definitely having to support myself in muscles that get a little lazy. All right, so you can see it. So the last two bits is that we go to the back of the waker. Your metatarsals are the contact point on the dome. All right, so it looks like, right, my ankle joint has this wonderful opportunity. I have to really fold my ankle and move it in a way that's opening the back of the ankle and my Achilles tendon. Again, for me, genetically, this is just an area, my family is a lot more kind of tighter here in the ankles. We're a very active family, runners, jumpers, movers, all those good things, and equestrians, dancers. And so I actually get a lot out of the foot, but I get even more of a takeaway from mapping where to put my weight through the ankle, right? Center line of my ankle, middle of the foot, second, third toe. Again, I feel it affect my hip all over and even into my deep tummy muscles. All right, so then the last piece is you're going to keep your little toes, right? The toes actually come up on the waker and the rest of your foot is on the floor. And so we have an outside line, the middle line, maybe we go inside. I think my body's telling me to kind of stay on that middle line right now because I have not done this since Sunday. 48 hours later, it makes actually a huge difference. All right, I try to do it every day, but if I don't do it every day, then I just do little pieces and parts, right? Or some kind of foot dexterity, strength exercise, springiness in your feet, okay? So that's how we use it. That's like the gist, right? So now if you kind of stand, right? I know we didn't do before or after, but my feet, right? My feet can really push from the floor, right? I'm not lifting my legs so very much. I'm actually springing my foot right off that ground. I need it to jump. I need it to walk, to run. My son is doing cross country this fall. It's amazing to see them train. But that dexterity, that springiness from the arch to the system, absolutely essential. All right. So if you are a runner or if you are athletic or you just want to optimize your wellness, then check it out. We'll have some in the studio. You can get them there, or we can send you the information to purchase online for your own stuff. All right. Thanks for listening.